Welcome to episode 201 of the Watchin It podcast. On today's show, Donnell wonders why not just eat the cheese. Robert watches a lot of anime. Oscars roundup, the news, and on this week's episode of Invincible, that's why Ant-Man didn't do the thing. I'm your host, Robert, and with me is Donnell. How's it going, Donnell?
It's going good, man. It feels weird to be back, just covering a show.
As King Shark said, it's just nice to be on a schedule. Okay? oh man, I cannot wait for Kite
back?
Man.
Oh
Kite
yeah,
Man. Have you seen a trailer for that?
It
looks fantastic.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I gotta check that out.
It feels just like Harley Quinn. I'm like, yes,
that's
hell
what we
yeah,
need. That's what we need. And Kite, I mean. No, I know that Harley and Poison Ivy were always destined to be together, and Catman was going to fail, but I still felt like he got done dirty in the show. And so him getting his own show, I'm like, that's right. Yeah. This man, because Catman was a damn good character. Earned,
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
He just wanted his dream wedding. That's all he wanted. But you know what? He stood up for himself, and he decided, I'm better than this.
Yes, he did.
You know, and he walked away.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's doing his own thing.
Doing his own thing. It's going to be fantastic.
I start with some Oscars roundup, I suppose.
Okay, yeah. Let's hit that.
Unsurprisingly.
I mean, I said it.
Unsurprisingly.
I didn't want it.
Oppenheimer won Best Picture.
I didn't want it.
I think it's a travesty.
I said it.
I think it should have been Zone of Interest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
right there with you.
I think there's a conspiracy, honestly. Zone of Interest did win Best Foreign Film.
Best Foreign Film. And it did also win the one thing that we both brought up, won Best Sound.
Yes.
Also.
Had to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, my conspiracy says, oh, well, they made sure they nominated that for Best Foreign Film so that way they could give them that and still be able to give Oppenheimer the Best Picture Oscar.
Yeah.
I also think it's a travesty that Bradley Cooper didn't win Best Actor. I don't think Cillian Murphy beat him in that regards.
Yeah.
I think that if Leonardo DiCaprio had been nominated for Best Actor, which for some reason he was not, for Killers of a Flower Moon, I think he would have been in the running for that.
Yep.
I think Emma Stone, well-deserved.
Yes, Emma Stone, very well
There
deserved.
were several picks in there for Best Actress that I would have accepted. Emma Stone was definitely one of them. And Godzilla -1, winning Best. Still haven't found a place to watch it. I cannot get my hands on that movie.
It's so good.
I'm surprised it's so hard. Yeah.
I want to shout out because I myself felt very much like C did great in this role, and I'm glad she got it. Best Supporting Actress went to Davina Joy Randolph.
Yep, for the holdovers.
And I thought she killed that role.
It's
fantastic, and so her getting Best Supporting Actress, I was like, that we're doing it right.
Best moment, John Cena. Coming out to deliver Best Costume Award, completely nude. Well, he wasn't completely nude. I've seen some backstage pictures, and he's wearing whatever that sack is that they put down there whenever they do sex scenes and stuff. So if he had dropped the card, it would have been fine or whatnot. But
I don't know.
What a baller!
Fine.
What a baller!
Hey.
When are we getting Peacemaker coming back?
That's part of my news.
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
Real quick, Best Animated Picture went to The Boy and the Heron. A lot of people are calling, saying that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse got robbed.
I could have gone either way on that, but The Boy and the Heron's pretty good.
I haven't seen it, but I was like, what is The Boy and the Heron? And then I looked it up, Studio Ghibli. I'm like, You're just like, well, that makes sense now. You're just like, okay, I see what's going on here. But I mean, a lot of the winners in the categories that Oppenheimer didn't win, I agree with. Yeah. But Oppenheimer took many.
He got one Best Score. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that Barbie won Best Original Song. I don't know what it was up against, to be honest with you, because I don't investigate that category. There were no songs in Barbie that I felt were really that good.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. And then this last shout out because
anytime Billie Eilish gets an award for anything is proof to me that God is not real. If a preacher came to me and is like, I'm going to talk you into God being real, I'm like, Billie Eilish is a mega star. And I guess maybe I do believe, because only the devil could be responsible for that happening. Okay. She's the absolute worst. I hate it.
I don't follow her enough to like her. I don't like her music. I know that, but I know nothing else about her.
It's bad, Donnell. It's real bad.
Yeah.
I've tried because I'm like, she's a mega star.
Mm-hmm.
She's worth $1 billion or something. I ain't worth $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
What's she doing? What's she got?
Yeah.
I've tried. Ruined an entire 007 movie.
Hey, well, she was involved in 007.
She did the theme song for one of the 007 movies.
I did not
like
know
Skyfall
she had gotten
or
that
something.
big where she's doing 007
Oh yeah,
theme songs.
oh yeah. She's winning
Wow.
Oscars.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I hate it.
But yeah, one last shout out is just best hair and makeup because I went to Poor Things and I gotta say the costumes and Poor Things.
I'll
and,
accept it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still think Maestro did an amazing job. I'm really upset that Maestro didn't win anything at all. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, altogether,
That's the way it goes.
there's the Oscars. Like I said, I knew Oppenheimer was gonna win. I knew it didn't have one, but I called what I knew was gonna happen. You know?
No, it happened. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Hey, it's no coda.
It's no
It's
coda.
not coda.
It's 100% no coda, and I can live in this world because of that.
All right, Donnell. Why not just eat the cheese?
So yeah, it's been a bit since we've been able to do what we've been watching. We've been doing our movies and stuff. And so this is actually from a few weeks ago, but I'm not sure if you know the YouTuber. He does his channels are Niles Red and Niles Blue.
Nope. You talked about him before, though.
I don't think I have. Because this is really, I've watched him a few times before, but I never really enough.
That is in my head, but I don't think I've ever seen any of the work.
So yeah, he is a scientist.
Okay.
And he just does different science experiments on YouTube. One is I gotta say, I mean, I know you can make a lot of money on YouTube, and I'm assuming he is.
Not me,
but not
a person could.
You,
not
but
me.
a person. Because like he's a scientist, and he got a freaking hydraulic press, and then I think he said it costs like $36,000 to do this one. He was making purple gold and stuff, and I'm just like,
I did see a purple gold
dude,
video pop up on my feed that I didn't watch.
This dude is, because I also
have seen something this guy's done.
I was like, how
not much.
old are you? And in one of his videos, I think he said he's like 24. And I'm like, this dude's 24, doing all this science in his garage, or not in his garage. He has a workshop. He got a freaking workshop. He has all these expensive tools and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe
he's got sponsorship.
Yeah, he definitely has sponsorship backing. I know that 100%. And he might. That's the thing. Like I said, he is a scientist, so he might also have But it was how much time he puts in his videos. Like he does such long form videos. I just feel like maybe he has an actual job doing science, like in some lab somewhere, and this is a side gig. But he puts in so much work. But anyways, the reason I bring up him is I've watched a bunch of his videos. I've been enjoying some science. But one of the videos he did was making American cheese.
Okay, I did see that pop in my feed as well and didn't watch it.
He's making American cheese, and he goes through all the ingredients, goes through the process. And so one thing is, to everybody out there, I think this still applies, but to everyone out there who's like American cheese isn't cheese, the main ingredient in American cheese is cheddar cheese. So that I still say it's plastically like, but I will walk by myself that it's not actually cheese. But here is my question for you, because he even starts it out. He's like, so you basically, what you're doing is you're taking cheese and you're emulsifying it with water and then adding chemicals. And that's how you get American cheese. And I'm like, okay, then why not just eat the fucking cheddar? Why are we going through all these extra hoops to get American cheese?
Because it melts a certain way.
Yeah,
and has
it
a
melts
certain
in this weird goo that's disgusting. Like, I just can't.
It's better, Donnell.
He went, no, it's not.
Better,
It is terrible. He went through the whole thing, and he succeeded.
There's no accounting for taste, but
he didn't get it. He didn't get it as thin as a normal slice, but it looked like a fat slice of Kraft singles. And he made a grilled cheese sandwich with it. But yeah, when he was like, so we're gonna make American cheese, and like, so yeah, he was just looking at the recipe. He's like, yeah, so you need cheddar cheese to begin with. I'm like, if we're starting with cheese, why are we going through all the extra hurdles? Who was the first person who was eating the cheddar cheese and was just like, what if I added liquefied it and then start pouring chemicals in it?
There might have been some gastrologist or something that was like, I'm gonna figure this out. But I'll guarantee you it was somebody in a boardroom going, hey, scientist guy.
Yeah.
How do we make this cheese last longer?
Yeah.
Can we cut it with something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what can we legally cut it with? I guarantee you the first round had arsenic or something in it. Like,
yeah, he's like,
anybody who wonders, like, oh, do we need the
we put some mercury
FDA
in it
or something? Like, go read what they used to do to milk.
Yes.
It used to be like 1%, not 1% fat, 1% milk. And the stuff that they used to put in that was insane.
Just read about what our freaking orange juice is. But yeah, so check out Niles Red and Blue. Those are his two channels. Red is like all of his experience are like weird stuff, but Red is definitely like the more serious, like long form channel than Blue is that's where the cheese one was, and a lot more interesting kind of quirky experiments. And then the other thing I want to talk about is I've been watching this game show, and the only reason I bring it up is because I just feel like a mutual, not acquaintance because neither of us know, but a mutual person we watch, I feel like would destroy this show. And the game show is called The Floor.
The Floor.
And essentially what it is everybody, I forget how many how many contestants are, it's like 80 something, but everybody comes and they stand on a square of the floor and they all have a specialty when it comes to just like random topics. And then basically you go around challenging each other, and if you beat the person, you take over their square. But so let's say my specialty.
I was hoping people. I'm looking at the picture of it. Yeah. I was hoping people just get dunked into water.
Nah, but let's say my specialty is dogs and your specialty is cars, Robert. Right?
Okay.
If I challenge you,
totally a thing. That's true.
So if I challenge you and win, then I get to keep my topic and you go away. And then I'm still up on stop. And eventually I can just decide to go back to the floor and I get to keep my topic, which is what you want to do. But if I challenge you and you win your topic, like, so I challenge you at cars and you win, you no longer have cars. You have to take my topic for dog, which is not your specialty. And then you have to defend that when other people will challenge you. And so watching this show, it's fun for me just because I like all the different categories. But I've been watching this show and the whole time I'm like, Northern Lions would murder this show. Because, like I said, he would go in there with a specialty that no one would want to touch. And also just for like, if he did end up losing his specialty to somebody else, I'm sure he could, just watching him.
Movies. Movie knowledge.
And so like, I've been watching the show and I'm just like, I would kill for season 2 to have it. Like, I was like, how do we get Northern Lions on this show? Because I feel like he would destroy everyone in it.
Also, is this what Rob Lowe does now?
This is what Rob Lowe does. He is now a game show host.
Okay. Because wasn't he in like the Mind Ninja or whatever that show you talked about?
He was. He was that. I forgot. Yeah, he was hosting that one too. Yeah. Mental Samurai.
Mental Samurai. Mind Ninja.
Mind Ninja, Mental Samurai.
That's the high guy version.
Yes.
Mind Ninja, not Mental Samurai.
But so I've been watching The Floor, and if I know he doesn't, but if somehow Northern Lion hears about this, please sign up. I'm sure there'll be a season 2.
Well, he's Canadian. He can't get in on that.
I'm sure a Canadian can easily get an American game. So he can get. Please, I'd just love to watch him just wipe no pun intended, but wipe the floor with everybody because he would just murder it. I think it'd just be fantastic. It'd just be amazing to watch him get up there and I would love for him to lose his topic and get somebody else's topic and then still be more knowledgeable than everybody at it. But anyways, that's all I got for what I've been watching, Robert.
I've got so much more done.
Yes,
I've got about 30 things. We don't have that kind of time because we got to talk about Invincible. So I'm going to do some setup here, and then I'm going to just sprinkle them in as we go through the rest of Invincible, and then whatever we cover after that.
Right.
We're working on a roadmap. The shows are coming back. Unfortunately, not Silo yet.
Not Silo.
Yeah, so I found a website where I can watch all the anime I want. It's cool. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want it to go away.
Yep. $5 at Patreon though.
Absolutely $5 on Patreon. Are we on Patreon? We're on something else.
We're on Patreon, and then also you can subscribe to us through our podcasting platform.
Yeah, go to our website, watchinitpod.com. There you can find links to our stuff. As well as the email us if you have any shows or anything you want to talk about.
Yep.
Anyway, there. Anyway, I probably watched more anime in the last month than the previous life combined.
Okay.
I watched anime before, but now not total anime because I've watched Dragon Ball and I watched all of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden and whatnot and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Kai a couple of times. So it's in total more anime, but more different animes.
Yes.
I've seen more. I'm more exposed now.
Yes.
To the scene. Some trends I've been noticing.
Yes.
Lots of anime about food.
Yes. Yes.
Lots of anime about food. The one I'll suggest that I think anybody should watch is Restaurant to Another World. It's about a restaurant that is located in Japan, but on Saturdays, the door teleports to this other world, this fantasy world, and all these weird customers walk in, and it's all about the stories of what they choose to eat. And, it's anything from like a lion dude to a lizard man to a wizard to a demon to an actual dragon.
Yeah.
Like, it is fun and cute. And you keep watching and be like, this is about to pop off. Like, nope, it's not going to pop off. It's just going to be a nice warm blanket you can wrap yourself in.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's got 2 seasons. There's more coming. I would say the first 2 episodes has a little bit too much fan service, but it dies after that.
Nice.
And doesn't come back. Fan service is definitely something I don't like in animes. But I just ignore it, basically. Yeah. And I was like, man, can we just not do this? And then I realized Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball Z had fan service. Yeah. Like, it's
all
just
of them do.
Part of the genre.
It's part of the genre. I think for me, when it comes to fan service, like, it really, like, I'm not a fan of anything, but it really depends on the tone of the anime. Like, the more comedic ones, and actually probably the more, like, slice of life ones, I am okay with it, or I'm easier to handle with, just because it's like, okay, well, we're not doing this seriously, so it's fine, whatever, with you doing some fan services, whatever. But when it's in the more serious animes or the action-packed animes, I just feel like it's so much like a handbrake moment where it's just be like, oh, they'll be at some dark, this guy killed my brother and this stuff, we're gonna fight and stuff, and then all of a sudden booby chick just jumps out. I'm just like, okay, like, you can't just be talking about the dark past of your family and how all these people died and you're gonna avenge them, and then booby chick is like, well, what up now? It's like, no. So that's where it ruins it for me, is when in the more serious animes, we're like, still gotta throw some fan service. But in the lighter hearted ones, the comedic ones, while I'm not a fan of it, I'm just like, whatever. It doesn't ruin the show, because it's just like, hey, this is all kooky, so whatever.
Yeah. The other big trend, trapped in a lot, died, transported, reincarnated into another world.
Yes.
Now, I had watched one of my favorite anime of mine that's coming back soon with another
season.
That time I got reincarnated as a slime. I, like you, when we discussed it, thought this was like
an outlier.
This is like a really cool idea.
Yeah.
No, this goes. I mean, this is a kind of a progression, right? Because you look at, like, I don't know, like Tron is this, or there's a lot of stuff, media that you can look at where it's this person got transported in some way to another one. Hack.sign. Alice in Wonderland.
Yep.
But the big one now is you died and got teleported.
Yes.
Right? That's
reincarnated, teleported. Yeah.
And the name for this type of anime, which basically it means another world, is Isekai, Isekai. This has been around, like I said, it's centuries. This has been a concept in books and TV and stuff like that. It really got a resurgence around 2012. That's when it hit big.
All right.
And it hit big with a novel that came out in 2012 called Mushoku Tensei. By the way, Tensei is in my Japanese catalog now. That means other or reincarnated.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Mushoku means jobless. So the name of the anime is Jobless Reincarnation. And hey, I watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that this was like the progenitor to the modern era of this reincarnated joint, and I really like it.
Okay.
I would say that I have like 3 animes that I've seen in the last month that I'm like, 3.5 that I think people really need to see, right? This is the half.
Okay.
But it might be one of my favorite ones. It's my second favorite one of the ones, right? It is about I don't know what it's called. Like there's a certain group of people in Japan that are shut-ins.
Yep. I know.
They're like the lost people or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the correct term for it is, but they don't leave their rooms.
Neats.
Neats? Okay.
I think it is neats.
And it's this guy, he's like 35. Brother or parents or somebody finally just gets tired of it. He's a shut-in because some stuff happened to him when he was in school, right? He's just broken man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big, fat, ugly, whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
They finally just kick him out of the house, gets hit by a car and dies. I've seen a lot of these reincarnation anime. Somebody wakes up, they're a slime or a beast or something. They're usually, or teleported or something like that, they're usually about the same age they were when they showed up. This one's different. He wakes up fully cognizant, 35-year-old man brain, baby. And so the first few episodes is him growing up through childhood.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes off when he hits about 10. And he's in this fantasy world, whatever. He's got parents. It's just a really good story and really well done. Obviously, he's super powerful because they're always in these animes. They're super powerful.
Yeah.
The reason I'm like, this is kind of an advanced anime because it's got some problematic material revolving around sex. It's not like in your face. There's no nudity, but I mean, like, so the parents, they're in their countryside. It's a house with no insulation, whatever.
Yeah.
They have sex. Everybody can hear it in this small cabin they have. They have a maid.
Yeah.
Or no, they bring in a magic teacher for him. Magic teacher's like supposed to be like 16 or something. He hears them have sex. He's going out into the hallway to go to the bathroom or something with his lantern, finds her in the hallway masturbating and them having sex. And then he just turns around and walks back. Yeah. But that's it. It's in there. It's really good. It makes sense. But you really got to, this is not where you start with you're going to be an anime watcher.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's also the problematics that, like, he becomes a man when he's 15.
Yeah.
And he's got all these girls around him that are 15. And he ends up sleeping with one of them. But he's got an inner monologue.
Yeah, exactly.
This dude's like 50 now.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was 35 when he went in. It's been 15 years past that. I'm like, this is morally questionable, some of the things that are happening. It's still a really good anime, though. Anyway, one more thing that I've noticed is trending. Long titles.
That tell you everything about the anime.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, well, I don't really have to read a synopsis. It's in the...
You're in. You're just like, does that sound interesting to me?
This is not one that I watched, but it's one that I ran across. I would like to read this title to you.
Okay.
The strongest tank's labyrinth raids. A tank with a rare 9,999 resistance skill got kicked from the hero's party. That's the name of the anime. I thought that time I got reincarnated as a slime was long.
Yeah, you start out with that, and then things just start going off the rails.
Yeah. I will tell you, what do you think the longest is, Donnell?
Man, you want me to guess like how many words? Or you want
me
to guess the
actual title
go for it.
I don't know how many words.
Title, I have no idea. I'm gonna say 22. Go with 22.
How about 96 chapters? 96 pages. There is a person who saw this trend of long title names happening and just said, screw it. I'm going to make the entire book the title of the anime. And it's 96 pages long, and they're making an anime about it. It's a manga. They're making an anime about it. I don't know how they're going to name it.
Yeah. It's either going to have to be like all in like, but even then it's going to be so many dots. It's going to, they're going to have to like short. There's going to be some crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you still want the effect to be there, so you got to make it somewhat long, but yeah, it's going to.
No, I mean, that's just the kind of like meta weirdness that I want to get into.
Exactly. Nice.
So, anyway, lots of anime. I'll be sprinkling in suggestions and stuff that I've watched as we go. A couple more things non-anime related.
All right.
It's been a while. It's a while back now, but I watched the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Fine game.
Yep.
Not super exciting, but fine game.
Yep.
What's important is how did I watch it?
How did you watch it?
Usually I go over to a neighbor's house because I don't have cable TV.
Yep.
I've just got the internet. So I decided to get 1 week free of Paramount Plus. It was like, hey, you can get 1 week free. They're streaming the game on Paramount Plus. Good things.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Watched Super Bowl, and then I'm like, well, I got a week of Paramount Plus. Let me check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I want to add $77.99 to my monthly budget here. I was like looking through it. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot it has all the Star Trek. It's got this and that. I'm adding up a list. I'm like, okay, let me weigh how much content this is gonna be. I'm like, okay, and then first thing I turn on starts Dawn commercial. Nope, cancel subscription.
Yep,
unacceptable.
Yep.
If I'm paying subscription fee,
do they have like a? I mean, not that you need.
I don't even know, but I think they do, and it's like twice as much or something like that. I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll pay like $10.99. But it was just no.
Yeah.
Nope. Not gonna do it. And then lastly, I watched a new show that came out about a month ago, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I need to watch that.
I thought this was like gonna be a remake of the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie thing.
Yeah.
It is not.
No, it is different. That's when I remember looking into is like, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, they're both spies but don't know it.
Yeah,
and they're actually married. This is they're both spies and know it, and they're faking being married.
Correct.
Yes.
Until they're not.
Yep.
It is the anatomy of of stages of a relationship. It's like 7 episodes long, and each one focuses on like the meet cute, the falling in love, the getting married, talking about having children, breaking up, getting divorced. Like it's all the different stages done very amusingly.
Yeah.
With fun action.
Nice.
It's a well done show.
It looked like it was
very interesting,
good.
kind of a concept show, to be honest, which I didn't expect. And just fun. Worth checking out. Yeah.
All right. I definitely was on my list. Need to check it out.
And that's all you get from me this week.
All right.
Join us next week. I got plenty of shows to talk about. I gotta slide them in, otherwise we'll be here all day, literally.
Yep. All right, I got two things of news for you, Robert, real quick. And I'm not sure. I mean, you did bring up that you watched this stuff. I'm not sure how much for you, but you talked a lot about anime. Well, the anime world lost.
Yes,
probably
a legend, an important.
Yes,
person.
I was probably one of the most
lifetime achievement awards, posthumous achievement awards will be showered in the coming year. Yes.
So sadly, Akira Toriyama passed away, and if you don't know who that is, you probably know what he made. He made Dragon Ball. Yep. Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball GT. He did sign off on it, but he didn't make it. But then he came back with Dragon Ball Super, which is going strong. I'm really wondering what's going to happen with Super, if like he had stuff nailed out for what he wants to happen with it or not. They haven't really announced.
I mean, how much of it was his hand on the wheel at this point? I don't know.
100%. Super was him back. Like
gotcha.
So after GT, he kind of was like he didn't feel good about the ending of Dragon Ball, and he wanted to. So he came back and made Super, and it's been a hit. Like everyone, I haven't been able to get into it just because I don't know if I can get back into Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
It's because Super, while it's great, it's more of Dragon Ball, and for me, Dragon Ball is a anime that I don't want to say. I kind of feel like I outgrew. I just don't know if I could go back to that.
Well, it's like I can't go into whatever they're doing with Naruto anymore.
Yeah,
it's just like
same
no
with
way,
me.
No way.
But even like me saying I outgrew it, that's a big thing because like I grew up watching Dragon Ball. I loved everything. I remember watching it, and because it was back before DVR, this was back before streaming services. I remember watching it, and if I missed an episode, I was just like,
you just missed them going,
I know now. Now I'm like, they were going to scream for 2.5 hours.
It's funny. Well, one time I took a week off work to do my Guernica puzzle, my 2,000-piece puzzle, and I watched all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Kai.
Yep.
It's like, yes, you can watch that in a week if you know where to fast forward. You can get through 1,000 episodes of that show real fast if you know what to do. But I mean, how old was he? I think he was
60.
Ooh, that is young.
Yeah, he wasn't
young. He
was
more
battling with
some kind of cancer or something, or some kind of horrible disease that we haven't eradicated yet.
Yeah, pretty much. He was battling, but they basically. I mean, that's the thing is like his family and him. They kept it, kept it quiet, and it wasn't until
what a mark on the world.
He passed.
What a mark on the world. Without that, you don't have.
Sorry,
I don't think you have no Pokemons, no Digimons.
Well, besides
no My Hero Academias. Like I don't think that any of those exist. No Naruto's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely don't have.
I don't think you have these shows unless Dragon Ball was what it was. And
Dragon Ball laid the groundwork for all this stuff.
And Dragon Ball Z, of course. Which I mean, Dragon Ball is good. Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, Z was. It's
like Terminator or Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You know, it's like Mad Max or the Road Warrior. You know, it's like there's
sometimes
good and
the
sequel's better than the. I mean, Naruto versus Naruto Shippuden. Like Naruto's pretty good. It's closer to Shippuden than Dragon Ball is to Dragon Ball Z, but Shippuden is the show. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, of course, like I said, we've talked a lot about.
Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not good with the words.
We've talked a lot about Dragon Ball, but one thing that is coming out soon is a game, and maybe I think of his latest or one of his later things called Sandland. I'm planning to check that out.
Oh, I saw a video for the
and then also not always brought up, but because like I said, he did make a bunch of animes, and these are anime games, but still, Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger and Blue Dragon. He had a hand in the character creation of all of those, and I mean, it's so when you really look, like if you've played Chrono Trigger and you look at the characters, like that makes sense. Same with Dragon Quest, you're just like, that looks like someone straight out of Dragon Ball. So yeah, like I said, he passed away earlier this month. That he was pivotal for my childhood, pivotal for my love of anime, and I hope he rests in peace, and I hope his family's doing all right.
Excellent.
And then lastly, a little bit of upcoming news from...
Let's follow that up with John Cena. Cena.
Yeah. Yes. So James Gunn has come out and given a little bit of information about Peacemaker. So one new thing, interestingly, is season 2 of Peacemaker is going to have no relation to season 1 of Peacemaker.
The hell?
They've cut... Basically, he's cutting the ties between the DCEU and the DCU. So,
I mean, they really wrapped up the storyline in the first one. I really need some of those secondary characters to be there.
Well, that's the good news. Is while it's not connected, he's like most of the characters are carrying over.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a new setup, a new world, but we still get Peacemaker. We still get his sidekick with something I can't remember his name. We still get I can't remember her name. Hardcore. Or I can't remember.
Harcourt.
Yeah, Harcourt. Yep. We still get like what's the nerdy guy? Like everybody's coming.
Beard. Yeah.
Everybody's coming over. So it's just going to be a brand new story that's not related.
As long as we got the same characters and the same dynamics,
yes,
I'm happy.
Yes,
okay, because there was no lingering. What more? I mean, I guess he still had the butterfly there with him, but that was and there was a Ghost Dad, which I'm happy to see them get rid of Ghost Dad for sure.
Oh, that's being carried over. No, I'm just playing. I don't know about that.
But I mean, it's hard to kind of dismiss the butterfly that he has in a jar. But I mean, I guess you could still have that. Just have that in a jar on the cabinet, or have him feeding it every now and then and whatnot. But yeah, can't wait to see. That was so good, that first season.
That first season was
John
fantastic.
Cena, what a treasure.
Yeah. And another little bit of news that he gave is, so because he's restarting the thing. The first thing is Creature Commandos, which actually comes out later this year. And then the next in line is Superman, which comes out next year. And then we're like, oh, well, if he's doing Superman, that after, like, he's wrapping up Creature Commandos soon, and then he's going to start Superman, or actually I think they started it. So that means it's going to be even longer for Peacemaker. Well, it's come out. Or at least they're making Superman and Peacemaker at the same time.
Nice.
So whenever Superman comes out next year,
it's too early for Superman.
Really?
I feel like you put him later, like at the end, right? I think you got to get some. You got to. Yeah, I think you focus on some lower tier, right? Maybe a Martian Manhunter. Maybe try and do Green Lantern correctly.
Green Lanterns are coming.
Maybe some side pieces, and then you come in with a Wonder Woman, and then a Batman, then a Superman. Then you tie that into a Justice League movie.
I actually agree with you, and I think if it wasn't for two things, three things actually, the success of the MCU, the unsuccess of the DECU and also people having hero fatigue, which actually hero fatigue could actually work for why you go with the smaller things. But I feel like, because I definitely feel like
superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
Marvel just lost the reins.
Yeah.
They just started pumping out terrible stuff because they came out with Disney Plus and they wanted a whole bunch of Marvel content to put on their Disney Plus thing.
Yep.
And so they shifted all their focus into making shows and they didn't take enough time to write them.
Yep.
And so they just ended up being crap. And because they were focusing so much on the shows, the movies suffered. And they just didn't have a guiding light, a trail that they were following.
Yeah.
And it just went to shit, and it's just been bad for a while. You know, there's a few good things in there, but it's just bad. And that's why they're not fatigued. They just like, this movie suck now.
Yeah.
But I swear, if you roll in with a really good, well-foundationed, overarching story DCU,
yep,
people are going to get excited again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But I think part of the reason why they're doing because Superman is the first, and they're already working on the Batman movie, and I think that part of the reason that is they just feel like get people back excited if they put together a really well, like you said, story, and you put the big
James
figures.
Gunn can do.
Yeah, you put the big figures first. That will be what catches like, oh, Batman. That will be what brings them in, and then they have and so that's why I kind of think why he's starting with Superman and Batman is more of just like those are the names everybody knows. So those are the ones that will for sure get butts and seats. And then sure, after they see that this is a well-tuned idea and stuff, then you can start doing your Martian Manhunters, or hopefully, please God, give me a Questin in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Just a TV show would be fantastic.
I mean, look, the best time was 5 years ago.
Yes.
Second best time is right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyway,
I just think that you need, and maybe this is Creature Commandos or whatever. Maybe that's it. You cannot rush to the Justice League.
No.
You need to take your time. You need to be building foundations, setting up plot that leads into Justice League, not just all of a sudden, hey, we got these 3 movies about these characters.
Yeah.
Now let's make a Justice League movie that's completely independent. It's like, no, you gotta. Batman's got to be investigating one part. Wonder Woman's got to be involved with one part. Maybe having something to do with the underworld or something. You got to have, and then Superman comes into play, and maybe that's like the catalyst that starts up Justice League, but all the other guys got a different part of it. And my God, if the Question was tying it all together, all the better. All the
fantastic. But yeah, that's all I got.
My God, please, before Jeffrey Combs dies, because I don't care who you get to play him. Jeffrey Combs got to do the voice.
Yes, 100%. Yes. Anyways, that's all I got. Looking forward to whatever James Gunn's got going on. So
I mean, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Hopefully, it's not a flop.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's still got the magic. I feel like he does.
I do too. I hope so.
Anyway, we're going to take a break there, and when we come back, we'll talk about Invincible. And we're back. Let's talk about Invincible, Season 2, Episode 5. This must come as a shock.
Yes.
Back in full force.
Yep. I had kind of forgot. I remember that Mark and his dad had met up with his dad, and I remember that the Viltrumite had showed up and they had fought. I kind of forgot that they had lost, and that the Viltrumites had tasked Mark with taking his dad's thing. Like, hey,
yeah, you've got a year to take over the Earth, or we're just going to come take over.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. We got some high stakes here, folks.
Yeah, it picks up right where the last episode, the previous episode, left off, like 6 months ago or whatever.
Yep.
He's all beat up.
Yep.
He's talking with the aliens.
Yep,
the whole place has been decimated. And then he kind of fast forwards 2 months. And he's all healed up.
Yep.
And he's helping rebuild the city and stuff. We find out that that's because there was no ship available to take him home.
Yeah.
And then
these aliens with their accelerated life. I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Lifespan.
But anyways, lifespan. There we go. Yeah, with their accelerated lifespan, they also kind of have the bonus or benefit of accelerated like everything else. Where probably to go from wreck city to functioning society that can build space traveling. Even if we had all that, if our whole planet was destroyed, it would probably take us a good couple of years, and they're like 2 months later, like, hey, we built that ship for you so you can go home. I find it interesting because Mark...
Yeah, that was a priority for the civilization. Yeah. Build the I mean, I guess I'd want a starship too, but
I mean, yeah, for lots of things. I mean, one is you gotta remember his I guess his stepmother in a sense.
I wouldn't call it I mean, I guess
his dad married her, and
I mean, he didn't technically divorce his mom.
Yeah, true.
So it's just the mistress.
But whatever you want to call her, she is the empress. So I mean, and one of her things is her son. This is what we kind of find out is going to outlive all of them, and she's like, before he can even talk, everyone he knows will be dead. Mm-hmm. And so I could see that being a priority, where she's the empress and she's like, hey, my son needs to get to Earth. Yeah. So I could see that being a priority. But that's one thing I actually was thinking about, though, is so Mark, like one thing that Nolan tells him, in season 1, is that everyone he knows is going to die before, like just because he's just going to outlive them and stuff. And so I'm just like, okay, so human mixed with Viltrumite basically gets you long. I'm assuming still you live as a human Viltrumite. You probably live less time than a full Viltrumite.
I'm guessing so, but he said like in the first season, he says like you're gonna live for like thousands of years, and your blood is almost pure. Yeah, Viltrumite.
Yeah. And that's actually one thing he brings up in this season earlier, is that another reason why they'll exterminate his new son is because Viltrumites are okay with them breeding with other races, but only ones they see as like high quality enough, which the bug people aren't. But yeah, so then I'm just wondering, like, okay, so let's say Mark is going to live for like, I don't know, 2,000 years.
Let's say 10.
Okay, 10,000. I was like, so his brother has, because
I'm assuming the brother's going to have like 1,000 years in him.
That's what I was about to say. Is like his brother has to have like, it's going to be weird because like at that rate, that means his brother at one point, I mean, not officially, but in, lifespan wise, his brother's going to out-age him. Like lifespan wise, like it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, he's gonna
one day his brother's gonna be elderly
and he's
gonna be middle aged.
He's gonna watch his brother die.
Yeah. It's just bizarre to think about. I was just like, because he's mixed with a bug. Like he still has, like they make it clear, he still has extended life, but it can't be especially with how quick he's already growing. It can't be anywhere as long as Mark's is gonna be.
But anyway, he decides to take his brother with him.
Yep. Only thing really you can do.
We fast forward to Debbie.
Yeah,
she's back at work. Mm-hmm. She's selling houses.
Yeah, had a weird moment with her when the guy is like, "Hey, Debbie, we got you this wine," and before he like goes into why, where she has like this like kind of smile on her face, but then when he says it's because we know it's been hard for you, losing Nolan, and then he's like, "We're glad you're back at work." Like she kind of like sighs, and I'm like, "What did you think he was gonna say?" Like I don't know.
I thought he was gonna like hit on her.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. Until. It went
Maybe
down the road of
Debbie
like we knew you had some problems. Yeah. But I like that she's going to open up the wine, and then she's like, "No, I've been drinking too much. I'm gonna close the door." And then Mark rolls in. He's got the baby in tow.
Brother.
Next scene, she's got a full glass of wine. She's like, "I'm not.
Hey,
today is not the day for this shit. I will reset my chip count." Like,
I'm right there with her. I'd be like, "Pour me a glass. I'm gonna need."
What is it? What is that? The Orville? By the way, aren't we getting another season of the Orville?
Possibly.
Okay, I really hope so.
But I do
like the scene where the doctor lady goes to talk to the first officer, and she's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you. I'm thinking about having a relationship with someone on the ship. Do you want to get a glass of wine?" She's like, "No, it's too early in the day to have a glass of wine." And she's like, "But who is it?" It's like, "It's Isaac," and she just quietly gets up, goes to the replicator, orders some wine. She's like, okay, this is a wine conversation.
Yes. So, I mean, he has the conversation at least twice. He did skip out on his friend without having this conversation. But I'm like, that is one, like, don't get me wrong, I know it's a lot for Mark, and stuff. But, him being a superhero, it's slightly different. Like, that is one jarring thing to come back and be like, "Hey, Mom, know how I was going off to sell an alien race." Like his friend even hits that head. "Did you save him from the asteroids?" Like, so it's like, "Know how I left to stop asteroids from hitting the planet?" Yeah, so there were no asteroids. In fact, it was Dad. And then, so Dad's still alive, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
And while I was there, he introduced me to his other family. This is my little brother. Oh, and then Dad's bosses showed up, beat the shit out of all of us, and destroyed most of the planet. And they told me to come to Earth and take over it.
I'm assuming he hasn't told anybody that he's got a year
probably.
to take over the planet.
He
certainly hasn't told Cecil that.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Definitely hasn't told Cecil. I mean, he doesn't have to tell Cecil. Cecil will find out as soon as he opens his mouth, seeing as we find out Cecil's listened to everything.
Speaking of Cecil, we pick up with Cecil and Donald.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, I just got to say it. Cecil, I mean, you see this anyways, but I'm just like, Cecil is just Amanda Waller.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is just full on, just in like where he is a gray character. Like, he's not. I mean, some people might see Amanda Waller as evil, but I really don't. Like, she's just completely gray. Of like, she has a mission and she's going to accomplish it, whether that's through good or bad means does not matter.
Would you call him true neutral or lawful neutral?
Lawful neutral.
Okay. Because I feel like he'd bend the law.
Yeah, true. No, he definitely
you know
would.
What? No, I won't say that because lawful doesn't mean the law.
Yeah.
It means that you have a set of rules and principles that you're going to hold to.
Yeah.
And
I think he very much will. But yeah, anyway, as I was watching, I was like, dude, this guy is like such a great parallel for Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, yeah.
But no, I love it. I love that they're getting into the Donald story, which we got a little bit of in the first half of this season. And Donald's just like, clear the room. You got to talk to me. You can't stop ignoring me. Yeah.
Hey, I need to talk to you. He's like, hey, we're in the middle of something. That's what Donald's like, clear the room. And it's just like, oh.
But we've been find out that he's a RoboCop.
Yeah, brain in a robot.
A robot man, if you will.
Ah.
Yeah.
A true robot man instead of the fake robot man. That's
Can we just get him to yell, motherfucker?
So yeah, this is kind of jumping around with his story, but it's like, I will say it's interesting conundrum when he gets mad at Cecil for saving him.
I think he's mad because nobody told him.
Yeah, no one told him, but even he's like, you don't have any right to do this. But I'm like, you have to take it big. I'm not trying to give Cecil a pass, but the big picture is like, this is Cecil we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like we just said, he's a man who only sees things as accomplishing goals. And the fact of the matter that Cecil has lost many employees.
Yeah.
Many. He doesn't stop to be like I said, they're not just, I mean, they're not 100% just cat and fall, but like it's acceptable loss in his mind. And
you know what you're getting into when you sign up.
Exactly. The fact that Donald dying was not acceptable loss for him means like you do matter to him in some way.
Well, he's like the right-hand man.
Yeah,
right,
I know. I'm just saying that you should, while I'm not giving Cecil a pass, I'm not saying like, oh, you'd be like, hey, you care about me, boss. You do have to realize like, if Cecil is willing, especially with how much money he says it was expensive, if Cecil's willing to go this far to bring you back, it's like, well, he obviously sees value in you. Like, he needs Donald for something.
Yeah. Anyway, Donald's just losing his mind. He's having weird PTSD dreams and stuff like that. I'm excited to see where this storyline goes because I like the character and I just like where the story's going.
I like so many characters in this show.
Yeah, absolutely. You know who I like in this show that I didn't expect? Definitely started in this season. Didn't like him last season. Rex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rex has totally grown on me.
Yeah. 100%.
Not just as he was fun and he had the voice acting is fantastic and the lines that are written for him is great. But now it's just like, oh, he's becoming an interesting guy. He gave the pull yourself up talk to Adam Eve and
in his own way.
I'm like, Rex is giving this.
But yeah. So with Cecil and Donald, like I said, they go through basically unveiling what Donald is, and then that's interrupted by Mark returning and Cecil having to go have a meeting with them. I just love how Cecil, like, Mark and him don't see eye to eye, and he's like, hey, it's fine. You already know everything anyway, so why do I got to check in? It's like, excuse me, I got to go see my girlfriend. I just love when she's like, all right, cool. Well, we're going to go swing by your house and pick up your little brother. It's just so matter-of-factly. And it's just like, yeah.
Man, so Amber's an interesting situation here.
Yeah.
2 months, college. I feel like I'm not an Amber hater.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when you're that age, 18, in college, drinking, she would have in 2 months. She hadn't heard anything. He was supposed to be gone for 2 weeks.
They've only been together like not even a full year.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about sex. I'm just saying as a relationship. Like they got together in their senior year of high school, maybe a year, maybe if that. But yeah, and with how much time before she knew he was hero, and even after he spends doing hero stuff, how much time are they? Like, yeah, there's like I'm not saying, but I mean this is one thing I've thought about a lot, and of course there are the cases that disprove this, like Lois Lane. That's the only one I'm really going to give because even Mary Jane and Spider-Man didn't work out in the long run.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I hate to say it, but it's like not that I'm saying like there should be some divide, but it's like if you're going to be a hero, you really can't date a normie. It makes even if you tell them, like there's always the thing of the danger. You know, if someone finds out that you're, you like I said, even if you're invincible, Amber's not. So she's in the danger of that. But also, there's like things of like you said, she has to lie to all her her grandfather dies, and he's not there. Yep. He's off saving the universe or doing whatever. And not only is he not there for her, she then has to also, while she's dealing with the struggle of her grandfather being dead, she also got to remember to keep up the lie of where Mark is, why is it? Because everyone, you lose a family, everyone's gonna be like, why is your boyfriend not here helping you and stuff? So you got to keep that up while dealing with the grief of losing a grandfather. I'm just like, that's like I said, it just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
in my head, I'm like, okay, this relationship is not gonna work.
Nah.
But in my head, I also know that she's gonna die in a horrible torrent of blood and guts. That's just the show. That's what's gonna happen to Amber. She is gonna just have her head squeezed into putty by a single Viltrumite hand. Yeah, like that's just how this relationship ends. Mm-hmm. That's gonna send Mark off the deep end. He's gonna go crazy. Yeah, that's just I see it coming. That's the prediction.
But anyways, we get back in touch with was it Shapeshift or what was that?
Shapesmith.
That's right.
We're getting into the meat and the potatoes.
Yes.
So this is a long episode.
Yes.
Normally they were like half an hour. This was a whole hour. Unexpected.
Very nice though.
Nice. I wonder if the rest of the episodes are going to be a full hour or if they're going to go back to the 30-minute format.
Must be giving us because it's only 8 episodes.
Or were they always an hour? And I just don't remember.
I don't know. Now I can't remember. But yeah, anyways, so this is still was a full hour. I think most of them they might come in around like a little bit above 30, maybe up to 40, because that's the whole thing with streaming now. Is you don't have to make freaking shows that fit in a time slot. But anyways,
Shapesmith, best character of the season, for sure. I want to run in a stationary place.
I'm so glad that they did though, because basically like they find out Martian or something from Mars is coming, and something that I love that the one I can't remember his name, the one black hero that neither one of us can remember is like, maybe somebody wants to say something, and then Sage Smith is like, that's right, I'm a Martian, and everyone's like, yeah, we know. And the black guy's like, wait, you all knew? But right before that happened, I was like, after we see the level of infiltration,
Black Samson, by the way,
Black Samson. All right, there we go. Almost like Brock Sampson from Venture Brothers. But anyways, but after we see the level of basically spying Cecil has on Invincible, who's not even officially on his team, I'm like, and I said this right before, it's like, there's no way Cecil doesn't know Sage Smith is a Martin. And right when I was so glad they cleared that up in the very next scene where he's like, we've known the whole time. Like, thank you. Because I'm like, it's freaking Cecil. There's no way with his terrible acting and everything that Cecil's like, this man's a normal human. So I was glad they cleared that up.
But he comes completely clean.
Yep.
And this is also where we find out that he attacked the astronaut.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't just the astronaut just fell behind and got caught, and then he just took his place. No, he just gonked him in the head.
Just knocked him out. Saw his opportunity. And I love that we see, I mean, he's a Martian, and so we see that Martians are different from humans. Because, like, he says it so matter of fact and doesn't view it as he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
They're like, you knocked out a human. He's like, yes, I did. He's just like...
It's like, why didn't you tell us that before? I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I know. Or it's like, he's a liar. It's like, no, I lied before. Now I'm being honest.
It's different.
It's different. But yeah, basically he explains that the Martians are immune to the little squid aliens. So they, which we knew. Yeah, but I still think this is dumb to use them as pets, like something this dangerous. Is like, yeah, sir, they can't get in you, but
slaves, you might say,
slaves, and then what happens when, like we see, they get one being that they can take over.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically by leaving that human on there, Mars. I mean, who knows what the state of Mars is, but at least this warship is full of them, and they're coming to Earth. Which I'm like, this is definitely like Cecil says. It's like if that thing touches down, like it's game over.
Yeah,
because it's just like even if you start killing all of like. The moment they latch onto one human, and who knows, I'm assuming they can procreate incredibly fast. So I'm like, I imagine as soon as they touch down, as soon as they get a hold of one human, game, set, match.
Well, I don't understand. So they're sending the heroes in a spaceship to go investigate. Yeah. I'm like,
and they're sending basically everybody who's either invulnerable or can protect themselves.
Yeah, so that way they can't. Yeah,
still got some questions, but
Adam Eve gets roped into it, even though she's vulnerable, but she's got a suit of armor she puts on. I'm like, no, you just send whoever it takes to get a nuke. Inside the ship.
Yeah,
and just
send Mark
nuke the thing.
Mark can breathe in space. Mark's skin can't be penetrated. He can easily punch a hole in the ship. He can easily drop off a nuke. I like the whole fact that there's a team. I'm just like, no, Mark and a nuke, and we're done.
I don't know how your teleportation system works.
Yeah,
but can you teleport a nuke into a ship in orbit?
Yeah,
do it.
Just do that. Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, with these things being like, if they get to Earth, it's game over. It's like you don't mess around. And I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the plan. So here's what because that's what I think. I was like, why aren't we nuking them? The only thing I could think, and I'm like, I guess maybe good on the humans, is that they were like, we want to try and save whatever Martians are on the ship. Maybe that's the only, because the whole time I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we not just destroying this ship?
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not nuked, just send Mark up there to just start breaking it apart or whatever. Like, I'm just like, why are we not? And so that's the only thing I could think is they decided they wanted to save the Martians on the ship. Because other than that, I'm just like.
Well, they didn't know there were Martians on the ship at first.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so they put together.
I didn't even notice, did they even win? Because there's a big fight that ensues. There's not a whole lot of detail that's important. Other than they just have a big fight. It's cool looking. Yeah. You know, they
lost. Remember, like they start getting swarmed. Eve sets up her bubble shield and everything, and then and Robot's trying to hotwire his suit to be able to stop all of them, or like do a massive stun.
Which and then her bubble breaks.
Her bubble breaks, and basically they get knocked out. And then basically it's like the last scene we see is all of them congregated and about to swarm on them. And I will say,
it cuts away, so we don't know if they won or lost yet.
I mean, stuff. Things are going south and all over though. Yeah. But I will say, like, of people for them to get a hold of, I will say, like, especially if they get Rudy or Robot's intelligence.
Yeah.
And then also, as we've seen, Adam's Eve's power is so OP. I'm like, of all the people, like, give them Rex.
Yeah.
If they get Rex, they get a guy who can blow. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not dangerous. I'm not saying that wouldn't be a bad thing.
Which we'll talk
no,
about
I know that. Yeah. I know that. I'm just saying, of all the people that they could make, like, sending, like you said, Robot can remote control his suit, so I don't know why he's even on it going.
Yeah.
But like, of all the people to give him, you give him like literally the two candidates that could be the worst for mankind if they get a hold of. Where I'm like I said, not saying that you need to send anybody, but like just send Rex, or send even. I mean, actually, Duplicate could be pretty dangerous too. Yeah. But yeah, just no. But anyways,
let's talk about some Duplicate.
Let's talk about the home team.
There's a B story.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a group of Guardians that go to the Mars ship, and then there's a team that stays behind just in case something happens on Earth while they're dealing with that, and it's all the people who are not completely invulnerable and whatnot. It's kind
of interesting that there's more people who are invulnerable than aren't. Like there's only 3 of them who couldn't go on the mission.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got Rex, we got Duplicate, and we have
Shrinking Ray.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're going to fight the Cobra Commander allegory.
King Lizard.
And
his crew.
And they've taken over an army base, and they're getting ready to launch some nukes.
Yep. If their demands aren't met, they're going to launch some nukes. Apparently, it's just a one press of a button, as the king kind of just points at. Yep. I'm just like, yep.
And this is when we get into the real meat and potatoes of Invincible.
Yes, we get back to this was I mean, don't get me wrong, I remember watching the show, and I remember especially like last season, the infight with Nolan and Mark and Matt Damon, but still, you sometimes need a little bit of a refresher of what this show does.
This was a return to form of the very end of the first episode of the first season.
Yes.
Where it's just like, okay, it is what it is, and all of a sudden Nolan's just like crushing heads.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we have King Lizard, which I don't know why his people listen to him because he doesn't really seem to have any powers. But
cult.
Yeah,
just a cult,
his 3 people, which basically
he was like the brother of the main guy that got killed or something like that. Yeah.
And basically our home squad. I mean, they seem outmatched. They seem outmatched for sure. Without some of the more powerful heroes with them, they're kind of getting beat. And even when they kind of get ahead, like it always backfires. We got to see Shrinking Ray do what we've wanted Ant-Man to do forever.
Well, let's get to that in a second. Okay. So first, Duplicate is fighting some kind of Hulk type guy and getting beat up all over the place.
Yes. And just copies of her just dying.
And doing something I disagree with is that the main one, the quote original, is getting up in the action, which is not what you just stand back and you send your clones
just like Robot.
Right?
Why would you ever go?
And she gets killed.
Yeah.
All of her clones, and then the number one clone
he grabs
all gets
her
killed.
At one point, and that was kind of fun to watch, where she was like trying to split, but because he was holding her, like, so it shows that she can't just like make another, like it literally has to physically come out of her.
Yeah,
even though it happens very quickly. So yeah, she's trying to split and can't. And then she does some. I forget what happened, but he like let go of her for a second, and she splits. But then he grabs both of them and smashes them together to finish her off. Just watching all her deaths, and then that last one, I was just like, freaking, hey, this is Invincible, man.
but this is when you get Shrinking Ray, who's like, she's like pissed off now. And then she does what she should have been doing the whole time.
Yep.
Turning really small, jumping in ears and eyeballs, and scrambling. She
goes
brains.
into there's one dude's head. And basically just pops his brain.
Yeah, tear duct. Goes in through the tear duct. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Ear's one thing. Tear duct, I'm like, ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah.
I mean, either way, you're dying. And I'm not sure you're going to be concerned by how she got to your brain, Robert. Nose, tear duct, ear. You're not concerned once she's in. You're more concerned about what she's doing in there. But pops his brain and pops his eye out to come out. And then which, I mean, it worked out.
By the way, you need to see Gen V if you haven't.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, yeah. This is some real Gen V stuff. I want to know, like, okay, who wrote this first? I guess it would have been Invincible because they would have been in the. I'm assuming this is in the comic book, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I don't know exactly this fight because, like, I haven't read the comic book. I've just done like a high level of the overall story. But one thing I do know is they have been making. So I guess nothing as major as like the boys and having it be that Homelander's son is alive. Is alive or anything. But they have been making small changes in it. So I wonder if this fight happened or not. Like I'm wondering if because that's the thing is I'm wondering.
I doubt that they stole it from Gen V.
Yeah.
And I also doubt that Gen V stole it from them. It's probably just too independent. I mean, it's a fantastic idea. You got a little person, have them crawl ahead and do things to the brain.
Everybody was talking about Ant-Man and Thanos, so it's not like it's a novel idea.
But now we know why Ant-Man didn't do that to Thanos, because I think this is what would have happened to him.
Yes.
She gets...
That's why you go for the brain.
Yeah, she gets...
And so here's the weird thing, though. I mean, like I said, it worked out for him because he did win in the end. But this guy eats her, but he doesn't chew her. He just pops her in his mouth and swallows her. And at first, he starts wrecking shit in there. Like, things aren't going well. But, he's able to overpower from the outside in.
I'm assuming what happened, from what I could tell, is she tried to grow big.
And, to
try and just explode him from the inside. And he was too strong that he just, sucked it in and crushed her. And that was just...
That's why you don't grow big. If you're on the inside, just start tearing up organs in there. You don't need to grow. Just start.
Yeah, but if you're going into stomach acid, it's not like you're rooting around in brain fluid.
Try to cut yourself in the esophagus and punch your way out into the throat or there. And you're right there next to the larynx, the lungs, heart. You can get a lot done before you get to that stomach acid.
So now Rex is alone.
Yep.
He's outmatched.
He's fighting 2v1 for a second, but he does manage to take out Claw Chick. But then this big dude is just going to town on him.
Yep.
And Rex is trying his damnedest with his little bombs. But eventually, he's about to throw a bomb in the dude's face. And I thought this was cool that he won, but also, probably not what he had in mind. It just was more of a luck thing. Is he pulls out one of his little bombs and goes to, throw it in the dude's face, and the guy just grabs his hand and literally just bites it off.
Yeah.
Just completely.
This is some Invincible stuff right here.
But I do love that Rex is, before we get to the end of this fight, when he thinks he won, he even though he did just get his hand bit off and is bleeding profusely, probably he does still have that a little psychotic, but laugh of victory.
Yeah.
Like it's like I won
between screams,
even though I lost my hand. I'm probably gonna bleed to death. Like he's like, I won. I mean, I do wonder about because this big dude was just smashing duplicates all over the place. And I do wonder about, like, does Rex, I'm not saying on any, like, high level, but do you think he has any form of, like, maybe a little bit more durability than
No, I think
humans?
he's just standard human.
He took a lot of, I mean, one of the freaking razor chick was cutting him up, and then before the guy bit off his hand, he took a lot of hits where I'm like, why is this dude not just smashing him?
I think he just got training.
Like
but other than that, I think other than him, I mean, he doesn't even seem like he has a power.
He does.
Is he like Gambit?
Basically, yeah. Okay. He's basically the same as Gambit. He basically can make stuff. He touch blow, which is when he's laughing in victory. That's when we remember, hey, wasn't there a fourth guy in this room? And Lizard King comes up behind him with the gun. And the whole time thing is like, once again, I'm not saying that you want to die, but because of what his power is, I'm like, couldn't you just make all the stuff on your belt?
Yeah.
Like you're going to die with him, but like if you want to go out as a hero, like. You could very easily, before he pulls that
suicide bomb
blow up yourself and him in that room.
Yep.
So I was just like, but we don't get to see what happens. Once again, just like with our aliens on the ship, we don't know if they won. We don't find out what happened to Rex. I'm imagining episode 2 is going to be one hell of an episode.
A lot of people dead. Yeah.
But we get the credits, and then we get a little treat.
Yeah, a little after credits. Mid-credits.
Mid-credits.
Yeah.
We get to see that, because if you remember from not season 1, from season 2, part 1, Alan the Alien got fucked up.
Yep. Real bad.
Another fight that was like, yeah, this is Invincible when his freaking eye. I love how he even talks about like, I watched my eye get pulled out of its socket with my eye.
Which was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. But anyways, Alan was healing, and we had a moment where the leader of the rebellion faction seemed to be killing him.
Yep.
But then we kind of find out this is more of that, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I guess, philosophy. Mm-hmm. Because,
well, that's kind of how, like, Alan was born, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like, they created all these creatures that were cloned from Viltrumites, and then, they were thrown through the ringer, and he just happened to be the one that survived.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and so Alan got a little bit of upgrade. He's big and buff, and supposedly, according to the leader, who we find out is a rebel Viltrumite, he should be able to go toe to toe with the Viltrumite.
He's been bulking.
Supposedly. Yeah, Alan looking good.
Jacked. Yeah,
Alan looking like he's ready for round 2.
He's on the roids.
Even though Alan doesn't think he's ready for round 2, he's like, I'm not sure about that.
Well, of course, you're always going to be scared. You're going to be timid until you find out how strong you are now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, even though we already had part 1, I just feel like this is just. I'm just so glad.
We got 4 episodes.
We got 3 more episodes, man.
3 more episodes, man. They got a lot. They better be an hour long.
Yeah, but
we still don't know what's going on with the multiverse guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's around there doing stuff. So
yep.
Need more Donald.
Oh yeah, and definitely gonna need more Donald.
Viltrumite stuff.
Viltrumite, Donald. We got freaking it's like they got a lot.
Debbie,
to do.
fine side character. I like to see her story too.
Got a lot to do in 3 episodes.
Got a baby.
One of the nice things, or not nice things, but that they've confirmed is that like between season 1 and 2 there was so much, but they said there's not going to be any delay. I mean, of course, there's still going to be time between seasons, but no like long delay. Like you said, they've already started working on the next season when it comes to like probably storyboard and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, at least we don't have to wait as long this time. But yeah, the fact that we got 3 episodes, and I feel like these are going to be some action-packed, jam-packed episodes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they're just going to be.
We're back in it. We're back in it.
I'm loving it.
As always, you can find us on our website, watchinitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchinitpodcast@gmail.com. Donnell, what else should they do?
Well, we're back in it with Invincible. Really
back on a schedule.
Yep, back on the schedule. So we're going to be covering every episode of that. If we went on a little bit of an anime tirade, and Robert has much more anime to share. But hey, if you have some anime to share with us, or you could see if you can
I've
find.
Already seen
that's
it
what I say. Or if you could see if you could find an anime Robert hasn't watched, you could send us that, because definitely always looking. And then as always, give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.